All right, welcome back to another episode of Dollars and Cents. But as always, we're going to keep it real, as in real estate. Everyone knows every month I take on a topic about how to not only grow but maintain your wealth. And this time we're going to talk about how to protect your biggest asset of all, your home and your family. By having the right coverages in place and understanding what those coverages actually mean. Well, I'm here with my good friend from the insurance store, Dan Luigs. And on this episode, we're going to talk about issues that are frequently missed but are often very relevant for St. Louis. I promise we're going to do our best to not bore you to death with a mortgage guy and an insurance guy. So without further ado, Mr. Dan Luigs.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks for joining me on my show. First thing we're going to talk about is wind and hail. Obviously, real important in the St. Louis market. But tell me things that can be missed.
Yeah. So the fastest story I can think of, there was a lady, won't mention her name, Kim, and she ran a bank. She's really excited. She had 2% wind hail deductible.
Yeah.
Super excited, loved it. And I said, hey, where do you think that multiplies against? And she says, well, I got a $10,000 roof. It's $200. If I got a whole roof problem. I got a smaller than that problem. It's even less. Like, this is great. I said, you got about a $400,000 rebuild home, Kim. How's that math work? She says, no, I'm not paying $8,000.
Yeah.
I said, you're not if you don't have a problem. If you have a problem, though, you are paying $8,000.
Yeah. Percentages versus dollar amounts on an insurance policy are confusing to a lot of people, and I think a quick thing that whether you're buying a new home and it's something that you want to talk about with your broker, or have existing coverage and just want to pull out your policy and see where you're at, I think it's important.
Yeah, people will focus on that fixed deductible, but they don't see the wind hail deductible number or do the math.
Right.
Incorrectly.
Percentage of what?
Yes.
I think that's important. So, okay, another one that's big for me because I do a lot of not only purchase loans but new construction is replacement value versus actual cost. Kind of tell the audience out there what should they be thinking of, and why is a home in Ladue oftentimes cheaper insurance than a similarly priced home maybe in Troy.
Yeah, so all kinds of factors go into that. Rebuild value, so I'm talking to a Ladue client. I'll say, hey, are you familiar with the rebuild value versus your purchase price? People that have lived in Ladue for a while know that their houses are most often, the rebuild cost is underneath what they buy it for.
Right.
When they're a new buyer into Ladue, they're not ready to have a house $400,000 less, insured at that price, less than their purchase price. But when they understand that it's the rebuild value, they'll get the same house back. Oh, that makes sense.
Right.
Thanks for, getting me ready for that. And same thing out in the country. So I know you run into that problem in a bigger way out in the counties. Yeah,
people that are shocked when they kind of move out of the more expensive home, yet their insurance goes up. I mean, that's the harder part on my end, is when I'm making estimates of what their insurance is going to cost. They move out to an area where land cost is very low. It turns out their insurance being significantly more than any of us had anticipated. So, moral of the story is, go buy $1 million house in Ladue and call Dan and I. All right. So one quick thing. So obviously, I'm a mortgage broker. We've talked about how I believe in the broker model in the past. You're an insurance broker, working with the insurance store. Tell me a little bit about why you've chosen that route and kind of how you differentiate as a broker with the insurance store.
Yeah, so the reason I chose to be a broker was I like people and I like to keep lifelong relationships.
Yeah.
If I worked for a captive company that only had one solution, as soon as that changed and it wasn't the right solution anymore, I'd have to separate,
right.
Or they'd separate from me.
It happens.
Yeah.
I remember a major company that wasn't allowed to insure in Missouri not too long ago. So that would have been interesting to be a broker for such unnamed company with a lot of money that partnered up with another mortgage company recently.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So love you being on. I know you have a kind of a big why in the St. Louis area that we're going to talk about, and so we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Little Bit Foundation and what you can do to get involved. Is the dreaded recession right around the corner? It's been exactly a decade since the last recession ended, and the economy has been improving year after year. That being said, historical data from the National Bureau of Economic Research is showing that over the last 50 years, The U.S. economy has been in an expansion phase 5 out of 6 years and a contraction phase only 1 out of 6, meaning we're actually long overdue for that contraction, otherwise known as a recession. In fact, many economists have been pointing out factors throughout 2019, such as an inverted yield curve and runaway deficits that predict the impending recession. So, a recession is probably around the corner, but that shouldn't necessarily impact your real estate decision right now. And why is that? Well, did you know that in all but 2 recessions in the last 40 years, home prices have actually risen during that recession? Yes. Contrary to popular belief, in most recessions, people don't go underwater on their home loan. In fact, Fannie Mae's recent forecasts show that home price growth will continue to accelerate, and that's great news for homeowners. Low inventory and a high demand from millennial home buyers, a generation even larger than the baby boomers, is causing this home price growth. Plus, interest rates are just continuing to get lower and lower. That alone creates another huge opportunity for consumers, not just for refinancing your home, but also for buying a new home, since low rates are going to give you more buying power. All these factors combined are likely to keep driving up the home price market, making it a great time to get off the fence and into that new home. Back again with Dan, and we're going to change things up a little bit. I always love talking to people that come on my show about the organizations that they're passionate about. And today we're talking about a local foundation called the Little Bit Foundation that's removing the barriers to education for our youth. So Dan, tell me a little bit about Little Bit Foundation.
Yeah, a little bit. So we softly kind of picked them privately, and then we pulled some clients and people close to us. And we were looking for a children's charity that we could really help. And we wanted to be able to bring a team, so we wanted to, not just write a check. Writing a check's pretty easy, but when you actually bring a team with you and do it on a weekly commitment. So we spend 4 hours a week with a team of ours, and we really, roll our sleeves up and very much get involved. Turns out the schools that they support, 90% of them have a federal food program that the kids, have to use, and that might be the only meals that they receive. So at home, clothing, food, all those type things. So we collect brand new clothing items and literally bring them shoes, socks, and whenever we're packing up these kits, they say if you're doing shoes, always do socks, always put 3 pair of socks, and always put 2 or 3 pair of underwear in every kit, because if they don't have shoes, they also don't have any of the other undergarments either. Yeah,
and we talked about even affording a jersey for a kid to play sports growing up, or even being able to put on a jacket in the winter at a soccer game. I mean, it's
and that's how it started. A soccer mom's like, "Hey, where's your jacket?" A West County soccer mom, and the kid goes, I don't have a jacket. She says, "No, not the team jacket, but like your jacket." He says, "No, I don't have that either. I don't have a coat or a jacket."
Yeah, it really is an amazing charity. We talked a little more about it, and it's one of those things. Our children are obviously the future of this country, and I wrote down a couple stats about this. And it's what's amazing to me. It's only been around 15 years or so. So, but child poverty in Missouri has risen 66% in the last 10 years, and 42% in our city alone are affected by poverty. And so, it's crazy what's out there. There's always ways you can help. But I mean, tell me a little bit about how somebody that's listening to this could get involved with the Little Bit Foundation.
Yeah, so this, again, started with one soccer mom who saw something and decided to make a difference, and it just went big. So they help thousands of kids a month, and they've got a huge warehouse, and it's amazing.
Right.
So one of the barriers that people have when they're looking to help is, oh my gosh, how am I going to do what that soccer mom did? Well, you don't have to do that. You can just plug right in. So you can go to the website, Little Bit Foundation, just Google it, very simple to find. And the phone number's there, the email addresses are there. Just connect with them and ask how you can help. We do a clothing drive. We've got a box at the office right now. So right now as we speak, feel free to swing by the insurance store, conveniently located next to P.F. Chang's. So the next time you're out for dinner or lunch, swing on by. But if you want to donate labor, they've always got a need. 8:30 in the morning, we get there about 8:30 we start working until noon. Really easy. So time, money, whatever you want to do,
right. It's great that you actually, you hire a staff and everybody's gotten behind it.
So we pay them when they go.
Right.
But they love it. They love going, and they love seeing that we're making a difference.
Right. Well, you are. And hopefully other people out there want to get involved. So, well, Dan, good stuff as always, and loved hearing about the Little Bit Foundation. Love the fact that we tried our best to make insurance issues a little less boring. You're laughing, but it's really true. So, and honestly, thanks for being here. So, if you enjoyed these videos at all, had learned anything, or want to get in touch with Dan and I, please give us a call or share this with someone you think could benefit from it. So, thanks for listening, and continued success.